most valuable real estate community in existence. Today we're going to be hosting a 7-figure mastermind talking about some key principles that I think everybody should consider throughout their day today. We've got 27 people joining us on the Discord this morning. We've got a lot of stuff going on. We've got a celebration to kick this event off with from Mr. John Rivera. We have another closing between John and Carlos today. Got the fingers crossed, so I'm excited for that. Hoping that you guys close on a big deal today. Exciting stuff going on across the board. Everybody is making progress, moving and grooving. John actually put me in touch with the listing agent that just listed my novation yesterday. So we got another novation listed this week, and we've got another property under contract this week. We're just going back to back on these accomplishments. So I'm excited. I know everybody in here is excited. Everybody is cooking. And that's the way that it should be, right? Everybody in here is in proximity with people that are cooking. And I don't know about everybody else, for the last couple months, I'm not sure what it was, but business just wasn't as popping. But now I feel like right now is a really good time. People are selling, especially over the last couple months. There were a lot of people looking to sell, before school got started. Now that school's getting started, I think that people are kind of settling down a little bit more. But there's always somebody that needs to sell, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good morning. Good morning to Mr. Hugo, Vincent, John, Jackie, Jay, Sherry, Bryce, Kevin, Freddie, James, Champ, Roan, Morgan, Felicia. We've got Naomi, Tanner, Frank, Donnell, Tim, Andy. Ladies and gentlemen, take advantage of this opportunity to adjust your nickname in this server to use your real name. People in here want to know who they're doing business with. You can always use a photo of yourself or a photo of the logo of your business so that people can associate that with your brand. You want to be building your brand and your reputation in here, ladies and gentlemen, so do not sleep on that opportunity. Looks like the camera is acting a little funny today. I know that's going to get clipped. But beyond that, let's talk about what you guys are up to for the day. I have a very important concept that I'd like to share and hear, what everybody's feedback is. It hit me this morning, I hear this a lot, from people. They say, don't hate the player, hate the game, right? But the reality is if you hate the game, you can't beat the game, right? So don't hate the player, play the game. You got to be in the arena. There's so many people that are spectating. There are so many people that are watching and casting doubt or judgment or criticism on whatever the people in the arena are doing. Do you think the athletes on the football field care about what the fans are saying? Probably not. They're too busy playing the game. So you've got to position yourself in a way where you can get on the field. You need to start playing. And we're giving you all the resources that you need to be successful. You have the contracts. You have the connections. You have the scripts. You know what to say. You have resources here available to you to help you get these leads converted into deals and these deals converted into cash. So let's get it. Let's have an amazing day today. I hope that everybody here is up, and I want to talk about how we can be playing this game. So there are really two situations for people that are getting started in real estate, and the best vehicle is probably going to be wholesaling. Now, if you're in a position where you have money to invest in a business, I would strongly suggest that you start to spend that money not on a coach, not on a mentorship program. You have all the information you really need available to you for free. Paying somebody $5,000 to $10,000 is not going to take you any closer to getting that next deal closed. What is going to get you closer to that next deal is spending your money on marketing. So figure out what marketing channel you want to go after. If you have no experience talking to people in general, in sales at all, you definitely want to start with a lower cost per lead. You can get a lower cost per lead from cold calling and SMS. Those are probably the two of the lowest cost ways to get a lead in the next 30 days. And if you want, we're going to come out with a CRM here very soon that is going to be an amazing resource for you to have outbound marketing. Next Thursday, I'm going to adjust the event. Next Thursday, we are going to be hosting an SMS lead cold call event where you will be able to hop in here and talk to actual sellers that have responded to an SMS campaign. And from there, you will be able to pre-qualify these people and literally get live feedback on the phone so that you can start understanding how to talk to people and start closing deals. So, if you're in a position where you do have money, I'm going to give you 2 realistic options that you can utilize today to get closer to that next deal. My number one thing is this. A lot of people that have money think that if they spend that money on a mentor or on a coach, they're going to have to get some sort of return. There's going to be some deal. But the reality is that's just not going to happen. The way that you should be spending your money is spending it on marketing. You want to be in front of motivated sellers, people that are more likely to sell their property to you at a discount. So if you're in a position where you have no experience, you've got to work with somebody that already does. And in that case, you can find these people here in the community and you can work with them. There are plenty of people in here that are verified closers. Make sure that you are verifying that these people do actually close deals. And you can reach out to these people with a proposition being that you will cover the cost of their marketing if they convert the leads to deals. And I think that this is a unique perspective that maybe not a lot of people talk about. A lot of people talk about squatting up and JVing, but how is it that you can really JV with somebody if you've never done a deal, you don't know what the process looks like, you don't really have any buyers, but you're telling people that you can bring a buyer and you don't really even know how to find buyers? It's not a good look. So you've got to think about how you can creatively partner with these people to offer enough value to actually get paid on these deals. And so that's definitely one of the ways that you can, is by actually collaborating and joint venturing with somebody to spend money on marketing, but position yourself in a way where you are in control of the leads. So regardless of if that person can perform on the leads or not, you are buying the leads. You are building your database, right? That's the most important thing for anybody in here that's hearing this and thinking that this might be a good idea. Make sure that if you do something like that, you position yourself in a way where you are in control of your data and you are in control of your leads, because you don't want anybody else taking your leads. You don't want anybody else running your business, right? You want to be the one that's in control of your business, and the best way to do that is to be in control of your leads. So I'm excited. I'm hoping that everybody in here is making the calls today. I'm going to have to follow up. I've got another call with a brokerage today that I have to get a letter of release from a brokerage so that I can list the property, and one of the innovations that I've got with another agent. It's been a little bit of a challenge, but we continue to follow up, and I listed a property yesterday. So the ball's still rolling. We're still making moves. We just got to stay on top of it. Sometimes you also have to sit on your hands, right? The best thing you can do sometimes is just be patient. Once you've got all the systems and the processes and the marketing going, it's only a matter of just being patient, waiting for that person to reach out to you. If you're not actively marketing and doing outbound marketing, wait for that person to reach out to you. After you get them under contract, delegate everything that you need delegated to these agents and work with these agents, and wait till you get a buyer. Be proactive as well. You can reach out to buyers, see if anybody wants it in your area. But we really want to make this an opportunity for people in here to connect, empower themselves, and grow. Where is everybody else at today? I want to hear from everybody else. I know that I talk about myself a lot. I know that you guys probably like to hear what's going on because, you know, we're in the arena, we're really doing this, but I know that I'm not the only one really doing this. We got a lot of heavy hitters joining us in the audience today, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Topeka, Kansas in the audience. Mr. Meiha. Or is it Mahia? I need a guest for the podcast tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I think we might have to bring on Mr. John and Mr. Carlos to come and speak. It's about time that they shared their story. Good morning, Frank. How are you doing today? Good morning, good morning. We can hear you now. How are you today? Fantastic. What have you got cooking up for the day today? No worries. While you get that figured out, we got Mr. Vincent joining us this morning. I'm well, brother. How are you doing? Well, that's awesome, man. I know it definitely takes a lot to share that. A lot of people only focus on the highlights, they don't focus on the reality. Um, I appreciate you sharing that with us, man, because just yesterday I had a call that I felt like I completely fumbled. And maybe it wasn't a complete fumble, but it was something absolutely new, right? But a lot of people are afraid to talk about their struggle and talk about the failure and talk about the pursuit, right? Because it doesn't just come immediately. You've got to go through that phase of where you're building up that consistency. And sometimes you even got to take a step back. Maybe you had a good, run. You had a good month. You had a good couple months, but then you got comfortable, like you said. So talk to us about why you felt like you got comfortable. What changed? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Talk to us about some of the problems that sellers have, man. Like, obviously, you've closed a couple deals. You've had a great month, and now you're trying to take it back up a notch. You're trying to get past and surpass that last great month. But what are some things that sellers go through on a day-to-day basis that makes them motivated, and why is it that they are even willing to work with us as a professional versus just going to list a property? Yeah, so that was kind of a two-part question. Let's break down the problems first. Like, what are the problems that people go through in their life that turn them into motivated sellers? Hmm.
You're providing value to them there, and I guess that kind of I'm trying to answer your question the best way possible.
No, no, and I appreciate that. So let's talk about like types of problems, that people go through. Like, what are some problems that you've encountered that make a seller motivated to sell?
Mm,
So
problems that I've
maybe
encountered.
I could give like an example, right? So for one of the sellers that I've worked with in the past, they were a tired landlord, right? Somebody who's had a property for a while. Maybe for whatever reason they just don't want to be a landlord anymore. They've got tenants that are giving them a headache, and they're looking to sell, to another investor. What are some other problems like a tired landlord or situations that sellers find them in that cause them to be motivated?
Well, like a death or just getting too old to keep up with the house, too many acres. Like me and what's his name? I think it's I don't know how to pronounce it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Shiroz, I think that's his
Mm-hmm.
name. But he's that's my bro. I mean, we'd be working together and stuff. And right now we're dealing with well, he's dealing with one on his own, and I'm kind of dealing with one on my own. Also, we're both encountered somebody in Georgia that they are getting up in age and they need help finding like a senior living center or a retirement center. They just can't keep up with the house when they get up to a certain age,
Mm.
so that can be an issue.
And so where you could come in would be to help them, get to that next stage of their life. Whereas maybe an agent, they just are more concerned with listing the property and getting a commission.
Yeah, well, I mean, I reached out to senior living centers in the area, helped them applied. I, but I mean, there is some a little bit of a wait list. I'm guessing because you have to like fill out their income and the price of the house. There's a lot of variables into it. But yeah, I mean, that's something that a seller can experience. But
Okay.
yeah,
I can give some examples as well. So, I mean, there's obviously tired landlords, people that are facing foreclosure. You come across these types of people that are in situations of distress, like Vince is saying. For instance, they've got tax liens. Relocation is huge. Like, they've got to go somewhere quickly, right? Whatever type of situation the seller is in, some sort of event has happened in their life that has put them in a situation where they need to make a decision immediately, right? Aaron saying family issues, that's absolutely right. All of these things are absolutely right. And
hmm
so for us to be able to identify, their situation and really identify that problem is where I believe we have a lot of value because agents don't really operate in the same way from what I've seen. They are more concerned with, hey, well, you looking to get the most for your house? Well, if you want to get the most for your house, let's list it on the MLS. Somebody's going to see it, somebody's going to want it, and then I'm just going to get my commission for listing it. But they don't really focus on solving a seller's problem. They don't really focus on understanding a seller's situation. They're more focused on what they can really offer. And I feel like an agent can only really offer listing a property on the MLS for the highest and best price. They can only offer the highest price. But
Yeah.
sometimes sellers don't even need the highest offer. That's not even the reason that they want to work with someone, right? They want to work with someone because they trust that individual is there to actually help them.
Yeah, because I mean, anybody can make an offer. I mean, you can put a 4-year-old in front of the phone and they'll make an offer. I won't. Hey, I'll offer you 100,000. But it's what problem you're solving for them, and you can't just look at them like another number in your CRM. You have to. A big thing right now that really helped change my mind is just treat every lead like it's the only lead you have,
Mm.
and really dive into what the problem is. So it's just you got to be careful with once you get a couple closings under your belt, can't let ego get in the way. You have to stay true to what got you traction from the get-go, and that's what I was really focusing on this week. And I'm just going back to the basics. And I mean, even YouTube, there was a guy in the chat the other day, he's like, I don't want to watch YouTube. That's wasting time. I was like, there's gyms on YouTube. There's so much you can learn. I mean, Brent Daniels has videos on videos on videos. But
He really does, man. I was actually on the live for Brent the other day. Anytime that I have some time, I'm waiting in between something, or I've completed a task, and like I find myself with some free time because I'm waiting for either another lead to come in or somebody to send me something back. I'll see what's on YouTube, and if Brent is live, I'm gonna tap in. I'm gonna see what's going on because there's like Vince was saying. There's always something you can learn from people, especially on YouTube. Just because it's free doesn't mean it's not valuable, right? The value of something that's free is what you assign to it. And the value of something that you pay for is what you also assign to it. But you assign and associate value with something when you pay for it because you had to work for that money to share, to trade for whatever it is you want. So I see that there are, some benefits in being free, being that, there's more exposure and you get more people. But I can also see the value of um, selling something because then people really value it. It's like imagine if a Lamborghini was free, right? Imagine if a Lamborghini cost as much as a Toyota, right? It's just a regular Sienna or something like that. People wouldn't associate the value with that brand anymore, right? They both do the same thing to get you from A to B, but they're not the same vehicle. They're not the same experience. And who knows, man? Maybe there's some way to create an opportunity here. I wanna really dial something in though. There's got to be a way where we can really figure out how to consistently get motivated sellers in front of you on a regular basis. And I really do. I'm a strong believer that Google is the way to do that because I've seen it in my own business and how it's changed my pipeline entirely. But I do recognize the risk that you've got to take in order to get in front of those people because there is a period of time that you're spending money and your algorithm is just learning. Who is it that I'm trying to get in front of, right? And that costs money. But then after that, you've got to continue to spend that money. And a lot of people, I'll be honest, they're not in a position where they feel comfortable to spend money because they think that it's just going out the window. But the reality is that's the fuel to the fire. You gotta spend money on your business, right? So that it generates you more leads and then more deals and then more money. So I think that we should really come out with a solution, for people that are maybe balling on a budget where they have a couple $100. Because I'm gonna be honest, you can't really do too much with less than like $1,000, to your name. You really should, get some money first. But there has to be some solution for somebody that has just like $1,000, $1,500 to really get started. Get all the resources that they need and invest their money not in a mentorship, not in a coaching program, but literally into their business and their marketing so that they can start generating these leads and start closing more deals.
mhm. Yeah. No, but I do definitely agree with the part where you said like a lot of free things people won't value, they don't value it as much. So if you have like a paywall or something, they'll learn to value it a little more because they put their money into it. Because I mean, look how much stuff there is out on YouTube, and people, oh, that's bullcrap. I don't want to watch that. There's no value. I mean, it's there. There's value. You just have to go through it. But
That's the thing too, is it's not delivered, on a silver platter for you, right? You've got to be the one to sift through and spend your time to find those nuggets and take these notes, and that's what you got to do, if you're balling on a budget.
fact.
So I'm excited for you, man, because it takes a lot, to even just evaluate for yourself and reflect on yourself and your past performance, and that's something that everybody can do more of, right? It's just reflect, and that's something that I would like to continue to do. Is just I try to record my calls and look back and see how did I perform, how did this call go, and if it doesn't result in a contract, I want to figure out why, and so that's when I'll go back and I'll figure something out, like that call that we posted yesterday. And I also want to encourage other members of the community, like Vince, to step up and share like what's really going on, because that's the only way that you can hold yourself accountable and that you can find out what you need to change to get a different result. So like Vince was saying, he went back to the basics. He's looking at the course that got him in a position where he had that really great month, and now he's going to figure out, okay, what was I doing to not get another great month, right? He wants to continue to grow. He doesn't want to just get one good month. He's not here for a short time, right? He's here for longevity, right? You're trying to pop off every single month, right? You're trying to build that consistency every single month. So we've got to figure out what it is we can do to make sure that we're in front of sellers, because this business is super simple. The only way that you can make money is by talking to people that need to sell, right? So you've got to position yourself in a way where you're in front of those types of people. And then once you're in front of those types of people, that's just getting your foot in the door, right? Now you've got to be able to have a process that you can walk them through, that you can articulate over the phone, that leads them to feel comfortable enough to want to work with you, right? The sellers that I've been working with lately, they don't even read these agreements thoroughly. They just tap, tap, tap. Okay, perfect. Thanks, John. When do I get my check? Right? Those are the types of relationships you want to build with these sellers. That level of trust, that level of rapport, where they already accept that you are the professional and the expert in this field, and there's no question about that, and that they can trust you to get them what they're looking to get out of the property by a specific date. So that's pretty much what the business is. You've got to have that system, and then once you have that contract signed, now you've got to be able to dispo that deal and turn that opportunity into money, right? Because it's only an opportunity on the board. I've got a couple opportunities on the board. I got a couple contracts, but are they going to convert into deals, right? And that's important to understand how to underwrite these deals, how to identify, okay, where do I actually realistically need to be at for this to be a deal? And then also not being afraid to consult with experts in these respective markets, right? Who are the experts in these respective markets? Real estate agents. So many people have this negative connotation about, oh, well, wholesalers and agents, they don't mix. Well, maybe you're not mixing with the agents the right way. Maybe you need to bring them a deal for them to list instead of trying to offer a lowball offer on their listing, right? I received an offer from a wholesaler on a property that I've already got listed, and this guy's telling me that he's going to send it to his buyers. I've already got it on the MLS. That doesn't solve my problem. Understanding how to solve people's problems is very important. And I just really suggest that everybody in here focus on that, because what Vince was saying earlier about solving people's problems is so important. But what's also very important is how to identify people's problems, right? A lot of people here, I know I heard it. How many of us in here heard, oh, well, you're going to make a lot of money if you can solve a lot of problems. But how many of us actually feel like that has some sort of significance? And how many of us actually feel like that's just gibberish or word vomit, that it just sounds nice but like doesn't really add up to anything? It has no value when you hear something like that. You've heard it so many times, but it has no real value. Can you let me know in the side chat? I want to know how many of us, we got 40 people in here, 43 people in here. How many of us actually feel like we understand what it means to be a problem solver? We got a lot of closers in here today. So everybody in here probably understands. Hugo says, the more problems you solve, the more money you make. Okay, perfect. That's true. Now, for the people that are maybe just getting started, or, have been doing this for a while but are trying to take it to the next level, they got to really focus on identifying people's problems. And the best way to identify somebody's problem is to understand how to ask the right questions. You've got to be able to pre-qualify these people in a way where you understand their motivation. No, just because I want to get money, hey, yeah, I'm just looking for a quick close. I just want to sell. Okay, why? Why is it that you just want to sell? Why are you interested in selling it directly to an investor and not listing it on the MLS with an agent? There's got to be a reason. There's a reason that people have to sell. The motivation is the reason that people have to sell. Dig into that, because there might be, a situation where, little Johnny's going off to college and the family doesn't have enough money to pay the bill and they don't want to see the kid in student debt, but they have this property they've been sitting on for a while. That's the real reason. You got to dig and get the real reason. And then once you understand that real reason, the numbers don't really matter as much. You've got to start to sell them the solution. That's what you're selling them. I had a seller on the phone the other day. I did a $40K price reduction because they're going through a divorce, and the problem isn't how much they're going to be walking away with. The problem is they're stuck in a situation that they don't want to be in anymore, and they want to start a new life, right? So I'm not selling them that, hey, I'm going to give you 80K. I'm going to give you the ability to start your next chapter in your life. That's the solution that you're selling. The house just happens to be in the middle of you offering that solution. That's it. And so if you can really think about it like that, you can be less afraid, to offer numbers and throw numbers out there that may be lower than, what the seller is ready to accept. But offering solutions, being a problem solver is very important. And understanding an agent's problem too is like, people that list their properties on the MLS obviously want to get the most for it, right? That's obvious. It's listed. They want to get the highest and the best offer. But for people that are upside down on their house, they're asking too much. You got to figure out what is the motivation for that seller and see if you have a solution that's going to make sense. Maybe it's not a cash offer that's super low. Maybe it's something where you take over a mortgage on a wrap, subject to, right? You got to be able to have different solutions for these people's problems. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. And I'll tell you this from experience, being in this room right now, being in this community right now, you already have access to more solutions than I can even think of, because you've got all of these different people that focus on different things. So you're in good hands, you're in great company, and don't sleep on this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's the same thing me and Cheryl's were talking about yesterday on the phone. Just being in proximity with the people in this Discord. There's so much to learn, and I mean the world is at your fingertips, literally. Keyboard.
That's so true, man. And hey, congratulations to you and Shiraz for working on that deal. I'm hoping that it works out. Have you guys already closed on one yet?
Not yet. We're working on a couple right now. He's hearing back from the agent, I believe. We got like 3 in the pipeline, so
There you go.
just trying to get it along.
Yes, sir. That's the most important thing, is you got stuff on the board. Most important thing is to get stuff on the board. Now you can close them out. So that's fantastic. I'm excited for you too. And once you guys close them out, we got to bring you both on to chop it up on a podcast and talk about how it went.
Thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. How many of us are ready to hit the phones? Man, I'm ready to get back into the game. I'm going to check on my ads real quick and see where we're at for the day. I noticed that my cost per click was going up through the roof, so I'm going to have to fix that. Also was dialing in on the website. We've got an average cost per click of like $44 today, so that's gone down from yesterday. It was like $70 a click. But it doesn't look like we've had any conversions so far. So we'll see. We're dialing in some things. We've got the website that we're dialing in, and of course the ads, but we've already got stuff in the pipeline, so it's only a matter of time, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the #1 most valuable real estate community in existence. If you haven't already, you need to invite somebody you think would benefit from being in proximity with us. Send them that link, reirev.com, and follow us on Instagram at REI Revolution, and make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube. You can catch all of the videos that we have posted there. I'm going to link to the YouTube. If you haven't already, go and click that subscribe button at REI Revolution on YouTube. Hugo asked, am I managing my own Google Ads? I am not. I'm working with somebody to manage them. We can chop it up afterwards. I'll be popping into the workplace voice channel. Guys, you got voice channels, you got text channels, you got everything you need to be in proximity and really be a success here. So don't sleep on this opportunity. Love y'all. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye. What up, what up?
What up? Great stream, man.
Appreciate it, bro. I gotta do something
Always
different. I feel like it's kind of becoming a little bit repetitive, and I want to offer something more. I just kind of feel like I'm just up there talking about business and motivation. I want to bring more to the table than that.
Yo,
I think it's
What's up,
good, man.
Alan?
I mean, especially just in the mornings, you're getting everybody hyped. I mean, that's why I join in the morning is it gets me set up. I'd be sitting there just writing down my tasks for today and getting